So, race number 13 of the meeting about to get underway, and it is Junior Rotax, their third and final heat of today's action. And here is the grid. Thomas Stolsamanis starts again for the third successive race on pole position. Qualifying determines the grid positions if it's under 36 drivers on the grid. Kai Rielitz on P2. And they are ahead of Mathis Turlo and Bruno Mulder, so an all-Dutch affair on row 2. Mikkel Pedersen from Denmark and Edgars Wilkans rounding out the top 6 positions. Jori Schoens and Kasper Schormans rounding out the top 4 rows. And I'm really impressed with Schormans' performance here on his very first weekend as a junior. Thomas Strauven and Luke Neeson round out the top 10 positions, ahead of Max Knappen and Joy Breedveld in the 2:48 and the 2:05. The 2:06 of Nick Gerhards, based out of Amsterdam, starts P13 and will have Magnus Pedersen alongside for close company. Behind Mega and Vic Stevens, that is row number 8. Theo Blanc and Montego Marson round out the top 9 ahead of Tommy van der Stroys and Enzo Boll. That's the top 20 completed. Julian Kloosman ahead of Javi Bachmachtiuk. That's row 11. Thijs Dames rounds out the top 23 ahead of Olivier Jonkers, Lawrence Herboz, Ralph van der Pevert and Marius Rose rounding out the 27 strong grid. So this is where this will be the final opportunity for these drivers to get going and where they can be in terms of the grid positioning ahead of tomorrow's pre-final. The intermediate classification will be determined this very evening, so please don't forget to keep an eye on our social media channels for all of the relevant information. We will post the intermediate classifications as the results have been formulated and tallied up. So now they come through the final corner into the tram lines. We go for Junior Rotax Heat 3. Are we ready? Are we steady? Looks like we've got a good one going underway at this particular moment in time as Turlo looks to go towards the inside of Kai Rielitz on that particular occasion. And Rielitz uses the runoff to close in on top Stolsamanis. He is legally allowed to do that at that particular moment in time. However, the drivers now make their way through turn 6 into the Europolan, and at the moment Stolsamanis still leads from Rielitz, so the drivers can still carry on regardless and getting themselves towards that sort of opportunity where they now can see the likes of Thomas Strauven moving up the order, Farin Megan moving up the order, Theo Blanc, Olivier Jonkers has also made it up the order as well. So these drivers will be pushing like crazy. There were 2 by 2 at some points. Going through turn 7 a little bit towards the back end of the field is really, really getting hot and spicy under the collar, so to speak. But Stolsamanis has the lead ahead of Rielitz, and they have absolutely run away with it coming out of turns 1 and 2, and that is just after the first lap. They've got a gap of around about 8 or 9 tenths of a second between themselves and also Mikkel Pedersen, who's got Mathis Turlo right breathing down his neck. Bruno Mulder's in 5th. Edgars Wilkans rounding out the top 6 positions. Kasper Schormans still doing his level best and is doing a great job in 7th position. Max Knappen in 8th. Nick Gerhards, Thomas Strauve, Byron Mega and Jori Schoens round out the top 15 in 15th and 14th respectively, as we still have 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go. A bit of a nice little move there. That is from the 271 of Bruno Mulders up the inside of Mathis Turlo. And that is for 4th position on the running order of things so far. It's under 2 minutes gone. Stolsamanis being hounded now by Rielitz. Now the thing is that even if Rielitz gets a victory, he will be alongside Stolsamanis. But now, now there's been a massive drama. Now, who on earth was that? That was the 205 of Joy Breedveld, who's now got the 230 of Francis Theo Blanc right up his back bumper. And there is also the 262, I believe, of Jori Schoens. So this is where things get rather hot and heated, and there is bump drafting galore. I think I just spotted Montego Marcin in there as well, Normally a front runner in mini-max as he was last year, now up into juniors. And the first season for any junior in Rotax competition is never easy. You ask Kai Gilles, you ask Mike Van Voogd, you ask Lewis Gilbert, Clayton Ravenscroft, Joe Turney. As you can see that some drivers really getting the elbows out. And this is where now Gilles has got the lead. On lap number 4, he powered past Stolzemanis like he wasn't even he was standing still. And in the meantime, Bruno Molders has got his way past Mikkel Pedersen. So that is that's 4 different nationalities represented by the top 4, as Bruno Molders has a bit of a slide under braking. He hits the anchors to get the kart under control. The back end steps out to the left-hand side. But still from his perspective, as Max Knappen up the inside of Casper Schormans. Schormans for the switchback, going through the exit of turn 9, but Knappen powers past the youngster and gets through before they even reach the apex of turn 10. So 27 drivers still participating in this race. 3 minutes and 10 still to go. And now Casper Schormans drops down into 9th position, but a lot of drivers still trying to do their level best. Oh my goodness me. That was one Herculean effort there from Casper Schormans. He's going for it again. Wow, that was a brilliant move, but he pushes somebody wide. I think that was possibly Thomas Strauven. Or was that the 242? That's the 242, Mathis Turlo. So Turlo tried to keep it planted. And I must be completely honest with you, the amount of intestinal fortitude that Casper Schormans, at 11 years of age, I think the youngest driver in this entire junior Rotax field here this weekend, just said to Mathis Turlo, watch out, Buster, look who's coming through. And he just planted it there. He put the kart exactly where he wanted it. That was a great bit of ruthless aggression from Casper Schormans. And now Thomas Strauve has now got past Mathis Turlo. So Strauve now, Strauve now has the opportunity. And there has been a few drops down the order. Tommy van der Stroys now up into P20. Ralph van der Pevert up to 26th position. But Stolzemanis, can the Latvian from RM Latvia get a clean sweep today? But that's dependent on how much Gilles wants to have that victory to get. Oh! Nearly 4 abreast, right down the back straight. Montego Madsen was in the middle of it all. Theo Bland, Tommy van der Stroys, Javi Bachmachdiuk, I think, were even involved there too. Montego Madsen, oh my goodness me. It was like Piggy in the middle right there and then. 4 abreast going down the Europolan. That doesn't happen very often, I must be completely honest. But now, Gerhard's up into 6th. Knappen, Schormans round out the top 8. Turlu now down into 10th. 1 minute and 15 still to go. I think Stolzemanis is holding back. You can tell by the way he's driving. He's not trying to put Gilles under any kind of insurmountable pressure. But Gilles knows that he's there. Gilles is just looking forward. He's looking at apexes. Now he's got... Now, there was the glance from Stolzemanis. And you can just see what Gilles is doing. I'm just looking by the body language. Gilles is not concentrating on what Stolzemanis is doing at all until he absolutely needs to. What he's doing is he's looking at the apexes and he's looking ahead. He's mitigating the circumstances. And that's the sign of a good driver. If you can keep looking forward and have the blinkers on and not worry about what the guy behind or the girl behind you is doing, you're in a better place because you're then able to go for it full chat. Penultimate lap of the day for Junior Rotax. Lap 8. Stolzemanis, I think, could send it if he wanted to, right there and then. However, whether he does something on the final lap is anybody's guess. But there's just under... Oh, there he goes up the inside. He runs a little bit wide. Gilles back up the inside. Oh, they nearly banged side pods. Gilles did the great old switcheroo on Thomas Stolzemanis. And Stolzemanis now knows that there's plenty of tricks up the magician's sleeve on those race overalls of Kai Gilles, I must be honest. But a good showing by Bruno Molders in this particular occasion. Had a bit of a disaster in the second heat, but he's in P3. He's got the ringside seat ahead of Mikkel Pedersen. Edgars Vilkans in 5th place. Nick Gerhard's having a sterling drive the Stampex Motorsport kart. Final lap board is out. Relitz goes defensive. Oh, little bump from behind, courtesy of Stolsamaris. If that was a bit too aggressive there, that could be a possible front fairing. And that comes with an automatic 5-second time penalty. But Stolsamaris up the inside through turn 6. Mulders is there too. Now Relitz gets the run down the Europolan. He's nigh on bump drafting, right in the toe. Mulders now comes through to this as well. Mikkel Pedersen right behind. Relitz, if he's going to do anything, he's got 2 chances. Turn 10 or turn 12. But I don't think it's going to be enough. He's got to hang on to second. Bruno Mulders in 3rd place. Mikkel Pedersen might try and steal something in the dying stages. However, as Relitz goes defensive on Mulders, good driving, good strategic driving there. As Stolsamanis goes into finals day with the biggest amounts of bragging rights. 3 straight victories for the Latvian, winning ahead of Kai Relitz by 0.219 seconds. Bruno Mulders a further 1.5 tenths behind, then just over a further 10.5 back to Mikkel Pedersen. Edgars Vilkans rounds out the top 5. So both Latvians have been running in the top 10 all day long. And I think they could do that all weekend as well. We'll find out tomorrow about that one. Nick Gerhards leads a quartet of Dutch drivers home ahead of Max Knappen. Casper Schormans, another top 10 finish for the 11-year-old from Stampex Motorsport. Luke Neeson, Thomas Strauver rounds out the top 10. So let's have a look at the final results for Junior Rotax for Heat 3. Stolsamanis wins ahead of Relitz, Mulders, Pedersen, Vilkans, Gerhards, Knappen, Schormans, Neeson, Strauven rounding out the top 10. Then it's Magnus Pedersen, Marius Rosrom, 27th on the grid to P12. Good driving by the Dane right there from RS Competition. Vic Stevens, Matti Sturlo, Tommy van der Stroys, Joik Briefeld, Theo Blan, Enzo Ball, Fabian Mega, Monty Gomassen, Olivier Jonkers, Thijs Daams, Jori Schoens, Jarvi Bach-Martiuk, Julian Kloosman, Lawrence Herboz and Ralf van der Pevert rounding out the 27 strong. They all finished within 14 seconds of each other at the checkered flag.